Are there common misconceptions on behalf of clients when they enter into these types of relationships to get software built?
With custom software shops?
No code, anytime that they partner with someone to say, hey, listen, like we need a unique solution built on our behalf, is there any common kind of misconceptions about how they approach that relationship?
I don't know if you count it as a misconception, but when you're speaking with a vendor, and steer me right and back in the right direction if I'm missing something here, but it seems like oftentimes when people need a solution, they aren't always clear in what they need. It's difficult to say, I need this problem solved, and to come up with a solution for that problem in 30 minutes. Again, I'm going back to planning and the whole mise en place kind of approach to cooking, like have everything in place before you get started. If you meet with somebody and they tell you, I'm going to solve your problem by the end of this meeting, or have a game plan for you by the end of this meeting, it's pretty unlikely. With that said, there are some exceptions. If it's a very small project, a very small engagement, it's possible to handle those things quickly. But if you're looking at building out any kind of systems, I think there's a process, and you have to go through the question asking, requirements gathering phases. You have to go through the documentation phases. You have to go through the planning phases in order to be successful. And sometimes those phases are very short, but I think you should always be weary about people trying to solve problems like super fast.
Which is an interesting actually way to even respond to that question, in the sense that it's healthy to balance probably your desire for a quick timeline with the reality that's going to take longer than you'd expect. Like most things do. Not to say that right now there are solutions coming out, like no-code solutions, that allow you to expedite the build of custom solutions, but it's not to the point where you're snapping your fingers necessarily, right? There's still a happy medium.
Sure.
So kind of one of the conceptions is around, I imagine, time.
Right.
And the time delays associated with, and is there a way that you'd recommend or can offer advice around how people can maybe develop a clear understanding of how much time something is going to take? So if they want it to be a week, is there a way for them, are there questions that they should be asking or things that they should be exploring to make sure they know how long something is most likely to take?
That's a good question. I think I touched on this before. The devil's in the details. The more you can plan ahead of time, the more successful you're going to be. If you want to turn around a project quickly, especially a large-scale project, the more thorough you can be in your documentation, your preparation, the more likely you're going to be successful in pulling something off quickly. If you try to do everything by the seat of your pants, you're going to get stung. I mean, ultimately, that's anything. That's building a house. That's working on building a stadium. I don't know. Whatever you do, if you try to do it quickly, you're gonna get stung. But if you can be prepared and you have your blueprints right and you have your documentation right and all your contracts signed, you're going to be more successful in the long run.